You left? Okay then. Welcome back, viewers, to High School Esports Varsity Finals. We are in the second game. We did see Herndon Ham Sandwiches lose against Ruby and Friends. They do have the second game to bring it back to a third game. Herndon Ham Sandwiches, they're going to be on the red side this time, and Ruby and Friends are going to be on the blue side. I am joined this game by Alex Sword of Lightning. I don't know
What's
your
up,
last name. I'm gonna
guys?
say I'm gonna say Sim.
That's good with me. It's the short form of it. It's a little too long to really pronounce correctly, and it is sort of confusing. But I know what's not confusing. These picks and bans coming down. You see Vi, Thrush, Ari for blue side, as well as the Jason Syndra with the last ban being covered by purple side. And surprisingly enough, they're not really priority bans, I would say. There's one priority ban, which is Syndra, with regards to Pro 711 because of his excellent Syndra game last game. I know he played that perfectly to a T, but we're going to have to see what this last ban is, and it's in Italy.
Yep, that's no surprise right there. Nidalee was also a really what's that word? I can't remember the word. Okay, I'll get back to it. But King in the top, he is gonna pick up Jarvan for Trank. It's a go-to pick right there. And oh my nay on the Warwick. And
Yeah.
Warwick's probably one of the top junglers with this new patch. 56% ban rate.
And the reason for that actually is because with a certain enhancement, I can't remember the enhancement by heart right now, but it does extra damage when you smite the person or the champion you want. You get extra damage, and when Warwick ults, that does quite a lot of damage. It actually does
Skirmish.
about 50%. Yes, and it is a
It's
skirmish.
Skirmisher's blade. Yeah, Skirmisher's saber.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
But
man. Yeah.
yeah, so we still see picks going down for blue side, and we see that Trank is gonna lock in the Fizz for mid lane, and Pro is still thinking about that support that they want.
Yeah,
So you're gonna
he's
like this
hovering over.
Soraka.
He's hovering over the Soraka. It would be an interesting pick. Last game, this Herndon Hand Sandwich, this Ruby and Friends team, they did go for a bit of a poke comp, and that allowed them to essentially win their laning phase, and that helped them transition it into mid game where they eventually won. It does look as though now they're looking for a bit of a team fight comp. We do see Fizz and Oriana, and now this is interesting because is this gonna be? Are they gonna be putting Fizz in the top lane? It could be Oriana support.
And
That's a possibility.
in retrospect, actually, King in the top does play Fizz top, so I believe we're gonna see Fizz in the top lane, which I am pretty excited about because looking into his games, he does a phenomenal job with map control, moving around a lot when he hits level 5 and going into 6, even level 6, and he's able to create some sort of pressure top lane. More like Pro, we've seen him in our Oriana before. He is able to hit nice command shockwaves onto the enemy team when team fights count. And again, it's just an overall comfort picks for blue side, and they're getting the picks they want. Our right or our light is gonna lock in the graves, no hesitation there. I like it, being able to lock in a champ with complete utter confidence. With the Liana getting hovered, this looks to be a team fight kind of comp, and it brings their complete synergy together. And looking at games that they played previously, they're more of a team fight kind of comp. They love to team fight, and they usually excel in that kind of field.
And meanwhile, on the side of red team, we have Funkmaster, Shump, and Edward locking in the Vigar and the Jenna. And the Vigar pick's going to be really interesting to see how it goes because even if he does fall behind, he's still going to be technically ahead.
Yeah, and actually, looking more at the Janna pick, I would love to say Janna seems to be a very strong support right now. She's able to she's able to engage, disengage, scatter
Oh,
enemies. There's so much in the
this is gonna be
Callista
fun.
actually getting covered. So this is going to be a fun game. I've seen what Callista can do actually firsthand in games, and she is pretty strong. But you have to also remember that she is supposed to kind of need a little bit more work. I know a lot of AD carries that don't feel comfortable with her, and that's why we're going to see the
Yeah.
Lucian actually picked up instead of Callista, because Callista's still a bit of a wild card. Most people don't know how to play her, but I don't know. We're going to have to see what all the sides kind of locked in.
Especially is cluster pick would especially be even more risky because there would be no good person to actually use the ultimate on. Sure, they'll have the Maokai, but then you lose lane pressure. Janna would definitely not want to be thrown into the middle of the enemy team as a form of engage, unless she directly monsoons after. But that it's so easy to just try. It's so easy to counter that. So the Callista pick was it would have been fine, but I just don't think they thought about their team comp well enough to lock it in, especially with Janna being locked in beforehand.
To be honest, I actually feel as if Janna would not be that bad, but there would have to be a lot of pre-planning. So Tornado would have to be up and ready before they ulted. They would have to have her W probably on somebody to even hit somebody. There's so much stuff that they would have to have taken into account, or it would have been you need time to work with Callista to get that synergy down pack. And you are obviously right as well. Jenna is not tanky, so if she were to go in, she'd probably get blown up right away. Same with Maokai. Maokai, he was top lane, so you lose that Callista ult, which is very huge in the sense you could put it on the jungler, but then the jungler would really only be kind of hovering around the bot lane when he should be hovering around other lanes. And looking at it, it looks like they're going for more passive lanes for both top and mid lane on the side of red side. And bot lane for red side is actually going to be more aggressive. So they're waiting until this Warwick actually hits 6 to start kind of engaging, because at that point, that's when their top and mid laners actually hit their power spike with their ultimates, and they're going to be able to blow up champions pretty easily.
And it just looks as though this blue team they're just gonna go for complete and utter team fight domination. We have the Fizz, Chum the Waters. That will be locked down onto any person that gets caught up by the Cataclysm, and if nothing else, the Shockwave will come out. There's so much team fight synergy in this blue team, and so much utter burst. Cataclysm in like Shockwave, Cataclysm, Solar Flare, and collateral damage all synergize so well together that when a team fight is actually engaged, you're just going to be getting a huge burst of damage, and red team's hope is to just survive the initial burst, because if we look at it, they do have quite a bit of sustained damage in the form of Lucian and Warwick. Veigar, he'll be able to take out someone immediately in a fight. Unfortunately, that comes down to if he can hit the stun onto either Fizz or Orianna. If he can't do that and he can't take someone out of the fight before they provide a significant impact, it's going to be much harder for his team to come back. As it is,
Yes,
Warwick.
and
Yeah, you're saying?
no, I was just gonna say I completely agree with you. The side for blue side has great engage and great synergy with their engage. Solar Flare, Command, Shockwave, like you said, Cataclysm, and Chum the Waters. That's impressive. And then collateral damage to finish off. The thing is, I feel like red side yes, even though they do have that Maokai for the team fight, I feel like their thing is more like you said, to survive the initial burst or even get picks, because they do have the Veigar, they do have the Warwick, and they do have Janna. Janna's pretty well for getting picks, and even disengaging. Event Horizon's great for disengaging. Same with just Janna's kit in general, and then they can just chase the fight afterward when they see all the ults. But again, it all depends on if they survive the initial burst from blue side, like you said.
And what we should really see with that pick is the thing is that's a late game scaling team comp right there. Veigar, Maokai, and Warwick. Those are three late game champions, and if they can bring it to late game, they have a higher chance of winning. I just don't see them winning any fights when it comes to mid game and when both teams are just grouping together, because then you'll have Fizz, you'll have Oriana, and you'll have Graves where he'll hit his power spike in that mid game. He won't in that late game. Lucian will definitely out damage Graves, but when it comes to overall burst and mid game prowess, it's you got to give it over to Graves. And if this Ruby and friend can take advantage of that fact and stomp this Herndon ham sandwiches before they can go even or get ahead, then it's going to be really easy for them to finish off. There's not too much siege defense on either of these teams. So whichever team is able to set up the siege, will be able to take that tower fairly easily.
I'm actually gonna have to disagree on you with that, and I'll state that in a minute. Something I really wanted to bring up is Manly Mandude is running teleport, but if you look at King in the top, he's running heal ignite on Fizz, and I find that very interesting. I don't know if he forgot to change his summoners or something, but I know that Fizz has in his kit, his W does inflict wounds, so I'm assuming he's gonna run that ignite for more lane pressure, and maybe they can pick up a kill even faster, but. I do disagree with you because Veigar does have a nice kind of stop to the siege. His AoE stun if he hits it. Janna, again, like I said, she has disengaged. She also is able to protect towers from those kind of sieges. And Lucian does have culling. So they do have the way to stop sieging. But once those kits are down, I would say you are right. Blue side has very good siege potential, sorry, with the Oriana with her constant ball movement, and then from there, red side's just gonna have to worry about the command shockwave engage.
Well, we are into the rift, and both teams are just booking out of base. We do see red team already grouped around that pixel bush in the river. We do. Oh, okay. They're just gonna be taken out immediately. Did
And to
not
be
see.
honest, oh
Yeah,
yeah, they didn't see that coming, eh?
yeah. Maokai did not have the twisted advance leveled up quickly enough to catch out the Leona, which allowed her to escape. It's a good thing too. If he had started that, then he would have fallen behind in that top lane. And like again, you were saying how Fizz has King in the top has brought the heal and ignite. He's definitely just looking for complete and utter lane dominance. He wants to shut down this Maokai and avoid him from being relevant in the mid game. If they take away their mid game tank, then for red team. There's nothing on red team to stop the engage. There's no front line.
Yeah, and from there they would just have to kind of focus on the disengage and just cutting backwards with the help of Janna and Veigar and try to reassess the fight or just run away based off that. But yeah, it's Fizz. You can't really do much in lane. He does completely bully Maokai, at least until Maokai hits 6. But we also have to remember the power spikes. Lucian does hit his power spike when he does get his Infinity Edge, and it's the same thing with Maokai when he hits his Rod of Ages, Veigar when he gets his DFG, and Warwick when he actually gets the final enhancement on his jungler item. And for now, we see a little bit of dominance towards the bot lane on red side, getting the poke they need onto Graves and Liana.
There is King at the top. He hits level 2 before mainly Mandude, and he is just zoning him out already. So much damage onto that Maokai. We did see the Arcane Smash trying to put a little bit of damage. King at the top. He is a little bit behind in terms of health, but that is to be expected because of Maokai's Flask.
Something I want to point out as well, if we look at the health bars on the junglers even, we see that Warwick is actually so much more healthier than J4 right now, and that's because of the new jungle changes and how strong they are. We do see a pause, we will see a pause coming down, which is right now, because King of the Top, I believe he's having some connection issues, so we're going to wait until he connects back in to talk more or see more of the map rotations around the game.
Yeah, he was just standing there for a little bit. I was just wondering what actually happened. So yeah, he did end up DCing, and like you said again, Warwick, because of the jungle changes, he's now a heavily contested jungle pick. 56% ban rate. He has so much sustain And despite the nerfs to Infinite Duress's cooldown, he still provides such a huge threat in terms of level 6 ganking.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that he's able to stay in the jungle and just keep farming because of his passive being able to get lifesteal with once you hit that third auto attack. And we see
Oh,
the
Zenith Blade
engage.
hits the Lucian. Unfortunately, he's gonna Relentless Pursuit away. Howling Gale will knock up both of those champions. So Lucian, he needs to be more careful. Zenith Blade locking onto him. If the next one hits, it could mean his death. Heal has not been popped just yet. So they do have a second
Ooh, but
issue. Now
top
in the
lane.
top lane, King of the Top, he does get engaged upon by the Maokai. Auto attacks are going down. Unfortunately, the minions are in King of the Top's favor, and First Blood goes over to the Fizz.
And again, like you're talking about, he did run that heal and ignite for that more kill pressure, but it was actually Maokai who was starting to get the edge in that matchup. But then the heal ignite came down, and that was the extra damage King in the Top needed, as well as the sustain he needed to be able to pick up that first blood. So he did plan that out very much so.
We also have to remember that that Maokai, he was behind the Fizz's minion line, so he was taking the brunt of minion damage, while Fizz, he didn't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, and we're just going to see more poke, and bot lane is still looking for an engage on side of blue side, but the ward's going to keep Leona spotted out, so Lucian will have an easier time dodging that Zenith Blade. But it's going to hit.
But it still hits. It hits Janna. There goes so much damage onto him. Unfortunately, they will not be able to do it. There goes the buckshot. It does hit the Lucian. The shield was onto him, so the health bar is still going to remain the same. Meanwhile, in that mid lane, looks as though Veigar, he is so close to dying. Orianna, she is behind inexperienced, but she's gonna go in. She has to flash. The command attack is their dissonance. One more auto attack. Will it be able to do it? No, it does not. Now Jarvan, he's looking to gank that bottom. He's taking up the tower. Exhaust is onto the Lucian. He's gonna flash in. One more auto attack. Trent K picks up the first kill onto Lucian. Now Janna's in a bad position. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Maokai jumps in onto King of the Top. Richard's advance goes in, but there goes the Q. One more auto attack. King of the Top picks up a kill onto mainly man dude. Janna has survived somehow.
Yeah, and the excitement never stops in this game. We saw Orianna try to flash onto the Veigar, but Veigar did have his own kind of flash to kind of counter her re-engage. And then while that was happening, we saw a three-man tower dive, and it worked in favor of blue side, and they were able to pick up a kill onto Lucian, creating more pressure onto who could get fed faster, Lucian or Graves, and it looks like Graves at this point. And then as we were talking about, the non-stop aggressiveness of King in the Top is not going to stop. He's going to keep applying that pressure because he is the King in the top lane. So he's going to keep the pressure onto Maokai and get him from the tank that red side needs him to be to just a tree. That's part of the scenery.
Well, King of the Top, he is level 6. He has Chum the Waters. Maokai, oh, meanwhile, we'll get back to that. In the bottom lane, Airlight, he needs to be careful. There goes the engage onto him. Relentless Pursuit was used. Unfortunately, he's just going to back off. And now in the mid lane, there goes the Sun by Veigar. Shockwave does lock him down. One more auto attack from Trenke will secure that kill. Cataclysm will not be up to lock down Nay. And he's just going to have to get away. And there it is. Skirmisher Saber, like we said, onto that Warwick. And Jarvan has picked up Ranger's Trailblazer like the last game. It will give him a little bit of extra sustain in the jungle, something he desperately needs.
Yeah, and we saw how J4, oh, he might go sneak around this red side, or red side might not really even notice him at all, it seems like. He's waiting in the mix. Now the Gen Tornado is going to spot him out.
But Warwick is on the side. Orianna is roaming as well. This is going to be a 2v3 right now. There comes Graves and Orianna. The Infinite Duress is on to Trank. Will he survive? No, he's going to fall, but the knockup does hit the Warwick and the Lucian. But there goes Leona with the Zenith Blade, locking down Nay. One more auto attack. No, he's going to flash away. And there goes the Shield of Daybreak, locking him down. The buckshot, picking up a kill onto Janna. He's not going to get stunned, but he's going to take so much damage. The heal comes out. The Veigar ultimate not being able to kill Edward. Now he has to escape. He has to flash away from the Leona. Warwick, he's backing away right now. And looks as though that fight has been disengaged. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Chun the Water's has not been used just yet, and King of the Top, he's threading the needle with that tower. He's just being so aggressive. Manly Man Dude, he has to pop his own eventual Maelstrom to stay alive.
Yeah, but the farm is pretty even, which is very impressive on the side of Maokai. He's able to keep up, but we do have to remember the 2 kills from King in the top. He does still have the ability to also tower dive, so that's going to be interesting. But that bot lane, very important for the side of red side. Warwick able to pick up a kill, and on top of that, he's able to kind of create more pressure on his own. We see, like we said, Warwick jungle has been very strong. The win rate has rose on him from the new changes, and we see why. He's able to put so much damage, and his lockdown is very good in the sense where it can at least pick up 1 kill in a fight. But the man advantage was in favor of blue side, so they were able to pick up kills on their side. And top
There
lane,
goes the Chum the Water. Yep, Chum the Water's onto Maokai. The Arcane Smash was too much. He gets the knock up, and King of the Top, he's being a little bit too aggressive. Heal was not popped. He didn't have. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't. Oh, there goes in the mid lane. Cataclysm straight onto Disaster. Funkmaster Shump. He doesn't have flash, and Pro 711. He's gonna be picking up that kill with an auto attack and a shock command attack. The Zenith Blade hitting up onto Janna. Unfortunately, Howling Gale will stop the dash from actually happening.
Yeah, and it actually looks like blue side is looking for a dragon. The pink ward gonna spot out the attempt, but they're still gonna go for it. They're actually gonna push out bot lane on the side of blue side for all light or R light and Tia Musha, and they're gonna go for this dragon now. The changes to dragon are very important. Instead of getting good global gold around the team, they get good global gold, and they also get a buff. And the first buff is extra 8%, I believe, AD and AP, and that's gonna be huge. And the fact of even if the enemy team is ahead, which sadly Red's team is not, it would still be even because of the extra AD and AP you get. And we see a 3-man roam actually towards Vigor.
Yeah, he does get the stun off. Shockwave does get locked down. The stun not gonna hit anyone. There comes Maokai with the Ventral Maelstrom. He's in 3 members, infinite duress, locking down Trank. He's gonna fall. Now Taimashi's in a bad position. Here comes King in the top. He's there using the Playable Trickster to lock down. King in the top picks up a kill onto Manly Man Dude. Fongmaster Shump, he needs to escape, but he's staying a little bit too long. King in the top could go in. He doesn't have Chun the Waters up. Here comes Clarky T helping his Vigar. And they will just not, they're just gonna farm up the wave. They won't be able to siege this tower just yet.
No, they don't really look like they want to go for it, but King of the Top is pinging for it. Sadly, his team does not feel as if they can do it.
Oh, and here comes the teleport from Manly Man Dude. He does dash away. Unfortunately, our light, he's gonna fall. It's gonna go over to Manly Man Dude.
A good teleport, actually.
You know,
I must say.
Yeah, you're saying?
No, I was just gonna say that was a great teleport to actually kind of stop him from kind of entering. The Twisted Tree Line advance was what they needed to really lock down the kill.
Yeah, but with that teleport, they know King of the Top knows he has a free lane. He's gonna pick up a really nice CS lead, and he'll put down some damage onto that top lane tower.
Yeah, and he probably will be able to get his Lich Bane right after that, and that's going to be King of the Top's Power Spike actually as well. Looking more towards Gray's item, he is about 30 farm ahead of Lucian, which is very good for him because he's able to get a nice BF sword and out damage Lucian quite a lot with that actually. And looking more towards it, it seems like almost every lane on blue side is almost done their first item. Compared to red side, they are struggling to finish their first items.
Yeah, but when they do finish their items, they will hit a pretty big power spike, and they could use that to their advantage. Unfortunately, the way they're playing, the way this Ruby and Friends team is playing, they're just not giving them any advantage. Warwick in the mid lane, looking for a gank. Event Horizon going down, infinite duress, locking down the Orianna. Unfortunately, the Shockwave comes out. Oh, the Vigar Primordial Burst will take the kill onto Orianna before Funk Mastery can die to the auto attack.
Yeah, and the extra A or the extra kind of scaling where it does more AP the more AP damage, but top lane actually looks like they want to engage. Manly Man deciding not to go for it since he does not have Twisted Tree Line advanced up, and King of the Top is going to be safe a little longer. But going back to that mid lane fight, actually, the primarily burst doing more AP damage based off the enemy's AP. It seemed like it's needed, but something I want to point out again is Warwick didn't have smite in that, so he couldn't smite the enemy and do that I would say 25% more damage, which could have been a little more important where Vigor probably wouldn't have had to waste his ult, but in the end, a kill's a kill. Red team able to pick up another kill and close the gold lead even more. About a 2K, 1.92K gold difference between these teams. About 2.1 now because of the fact that blue team was able to pick up that bot lane tower, and now there's going to be more pressure around the map, while this bot lane is going to roam on the side of blue.
Yeah, and that's really where that's really why the jungle was completely revamped. It's forcing the junglers to make informed decisions. Like, do I want to smite this camp, or do I want to not smite and save it for a gank? Meanwhile, Xenoblade catching out Warwick in the jungle, infinite duress, locking down Arlight. He's gonna dash away, but he's gonna be stunned up by the Event Horizon. Tamaishi, he needs to flash away. Shockwave is not gonna be available, and it looks like this. This Herndon ham sandwiches, they'll be able to take a kill for free.
Yeah, and that's just blue side's bot lane getting a little too kind of aggressive. Warwick does have lockdown of his own, and he does have the Vigor to help him as well as his bot lane to kind of come and just deny or do the counter roam, sorry. And while that's happening, it looks like red side's gonna push the mid lane possibly, while Fizz looks to actually get a kill onto Lucian.
Looks like there it is. Flag and drag is up. Unfortunately, they have been spotted out. Jarvan being caught out by the Veigar and Lucian, so they're just going to back off of it. Dragon's up in 40 seconds. Not too much in terms of ward coverage right now, but they're putting it around the map. And they could be catching out the Warwick. When he goes... Oh no, the ward falls just before the Warwick passes through that area, so they don't know he's there yet. Unfortunately, Veigar, he went back to base, so he won't be with his team immediately. This could allow Herndon Ham's, this Ruby and friends to take advantage right now. Dragon has spawned right now. They can take it fairly quickly with the Fizz burn.
Veer is here now, so it is a 5v5, but J4 is going to engage.
Yeah, Cataclysm knocking down onto Warwick and Maokai. Warwick just taking down immediately. Chum the Waters, not hitting anyone. It's just going to be used as a zoning measure. Veigar, meanwhile, he's in the backside. The ward from red team, they spot out King of the Top. Event Horizon right now would be so crucial, but it's not going to hit anyone. The second Dragon does go over direction. Beautiful shockwave hitting two members. The Monsoon will be there, but it will not be enough to save her AD carry. Two flashes coming out from Janna and Veigar. The burn coming out from Orianna. She will fall. Ignite is onto him, but the shield will keep her alive.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have really re-engaged that fight. Once Warwick and Maokai was down, they didn't really have that lockdown in, like you said, that front line, as you're talking about, Maokai being that really only front line. And from there, it was just, they got exploded. We saw how great the shockwave was. It was able to get Lucian down to the point of quarter, but King in the Top able to duel down a Fizz even under tower, just showing how more ahead they are and how strong this blue side is, especially on their assassin-based carries right now.
Yeah, he has finished up that Lich Bane, so he's definitely going to be doing a lot more damage. Maokai at 17 minutes still hasn't finished up that Rod of Ages. If we look at the gold that he has right now, he does have close to 500, so when he goes back, he should be able to finish it. Unfortunately, it won't even be fully stacked until the 28-minute mark, so he's going to be so far behind.
Good rotations by red side, though, getting this mid tower pretty low in terms, and that's all red side can do. Try to out-rotate the enemy blue side just so they can try to maybe get a tower as an advantage, or maybe even a pick. Again, like I said, they do have the workings of a comp to be able to turn their sort of disengaged teamfight comp into a pick comp with that Infinity Duress and as well as the Event Horizon. So we're going to have to see if they're going to keep doing that. But like you were saying, Fizz did hit his Power Spike with the Lichbane. He's going to look for more kills, and he's going to look a kill on Vigor.
Yeah, he's going down. Chum the Waters onto him, and he's going to fall. King of the top, but the Culling comes out. He's going to Playful Trickster away to avoid death. And there's a really big minion wave right now. Oh my god, there goes the Infinite Duress. He's going to flash to get it, but he might die because of it. There goes the Flash Jack. Shockwave hitting Jenna, locking it up. Monsoon will not be there. Collateral damage. Taking that kill. And looks as though Orianna was able to pick up a kill onto Lucian as well. Maokai finally joining his team after all of that happened. 3 kills being traded before the teleport gets taken down. And this mid lane first tier tower will fall over. There goes the Surfer, locking down Maokai. He's going to have to flash away. There goes the Ventral Maelstrom to try and keep him alive. And actually Graves has to flash away from that second tier tower.
Warwick, and they have to respect
so much
Orianna damage. They have to respect the Orianna damage.
Yeah, she's so far ahead at this point. And while all of this was happening, bottom lane was being pushed by minions. And it's doing so much. Is that a bug right there? The shield is not being removed.
I don't really think that is a bug. I think it's good, but Fizz, trim the water landing.
I have no idea where that actually happened. Oh.
Yeah. The Chum the Water, it's actually landed onto Vigor, and Vigor tried to Event Horizon Fizz, but Fizz was able to just E and ignore the stun, and then able to pick up the kill afterwards with Urchin Strike being able to do the killing blow. And we see that they're going to go for the Rift Walker there, and it's going to be able to ward Baron now. But again, they have to respect it. Ooh, almost landing.
Yeah, the Flash Genius Blade was there. If that did hit the Lucian, he could have died right there. And again, you were saying, well, not really exactly what you were saying, but just to poke carry on to this. Meanwhile, Monsoon being paused by the Janna. The Cataclysm immediately taking a kill onto Jarvan. There goes the Event Horizon by the Vigar. Unfortunately, he's gonna die again to the Fizz. 3 times he has come in the face of Fizz, and 3 times he has gotten blown up. He definitely needs a Zhonya's Hourglass, and really soon, otherwise he's just going to be non-existent.
Yeah, it seems like this blue team's actually going to be able to take this red inhibitor, or red side inhibitor, down with manpower, and possibly even the inhib. Actually, that it is going to be the inhib, and they're going to back out very fairly. Red side might look to engage this fight, but instead they're not. Blue side going to go to take some buffs as little constellation prizes as well of taking the inhib, but the pink were going to spot them out. They might go on to King of the Top and Trent K here.
Well, yeah, Warwick is looking for a kill. Unfortunately, he can't 2v1. No knockup to stop it from happening, and it looks like Lucian will be able to assist his teammate to pick up a kill. Now, Nay, he's in a bad position. They're catching out Pro 711, but there goes to Warwick. He falls over. Well, Orianna, he's going to fall. Graves now. He is just walking in to certain death.
Yeah, and again, the power of Warwick with Skirmisher Blade and all, it just does so much damage, but the damage from blue side was pretty high as well. We saw that they were just able to take out Warwick. Again, the carries they need to be fed are fed. The Orianna is fed. She's more of a late game carry, but look at her items. Athenes, Rabadons, that's insane. Compared to Vigor's, he only has a DFG and an Atomb. Not even boots finished, so we see how ahead Orianna is. Now we look at the Fizz. Fizz has his Lichbane, completed boots, and almost his Zhonya's Hourglass compared to just the Rod and the finished boots on Maokai. This is just right now blue side being so ahead, able to use their carries, assassination, whatever they need to do to engage and just win the fights heavily, just because of the fact that Fizz and Orianna are so ahead, and the tools they have at their disposal is able to just pick up at least a kill or 2, and from there they're able to just snowball and get whatever they want, whether it's a dragon, an inhibitor, maybe Nexus towers next, even a Baron.
Well, speaking of dragon, looks as though this red team, they're going to be taking down this dragon, and despite a ward being on that buff, they're just going to have to give it up. They could not fight for it. The ball is on to Jarvin. They're looking to catch out Vigar. Unfortunately, the Oriana ball was not, the range was not long enough. Chum the water, barely missing Vigar. He's going to escape. And there goes his twisted advance onto Jarvis. There's a shockwave hitting Lucian and Maokai. He's getting blown up by the Graves, and there goes the EQ combo. Now Vigar, he's looking to die. The Monsoon from Jenna will keep her teammate alive. Unfortunately, the Nexus towers, they're going to be falling. The first one dies. Zenith Blade just missing. The second one, Dana Shield is put onto it. There goes the Primordial Burst onto Fizz. He's finally going to fall after picking a kill onto Vigar. And this game looks as though it's going to be over. Ruby and friends, they have won high school esports leagues. Fall semester finals.
Yeah, and congratulations to them. They showed complete lane dominance in all their lanes. Didn't even need the J4 to really gank. They said, you know what, Trank, just farm up. We know you're having trouble in this jungle because it is so much harder from the previous Summoner's Rift. So just do your thing. We'll just get ahead in our lanes. And we saw that, and we saw a great performance from them. Very well played. Again, it just shows you how well this team is, even if their jungler does not gank them early game, or they don't have an early game kind of ganker like Trank.
And Ruby and friends from Fleetwood Park Secondary, they are your varsity bracket final winners. Varsity bracket champions of the fall semester. They have won Dogecoin, T-shirts, medallions, RP, and a mousepad. So, some pretty good stuff for them. I'm sure there will be some sort of consolation prizes for the second and third place winners as well.
I believe it's RP and... I believe it's RP. I believe the second place team will win 16,000 RP, as well as the third place winning 800 RP, if I'm not mistaken.
So, unfortunately, we will not be doing the junior varsity that was being played at the same time as the varsity bracket. So, that will be it. This will actually be the last stream for a while, until at least the winter or maybe spring semester. I don't know the exact plans for high school esports league. So, my name was Desi. My name is Desi Fresh.
And my name is Sword of Lighting. And my friends, it was a privilege to cast with Des Fresh, Des Fresh, even in the short time I had. And I'm happy that actually HSEL was able to kind of take me in under their wing and allow me to cast. But I really do hope that we will be casting for you soon. And I believe, hopefully, if things go well, or if they decide to, we might have a winter semester kind of thing, as Des Fresh was saying.
Yep. So remember, it's just a bit of a final note. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow High School Esports on their Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Do the same for us as well. I am at DesiFreshLol, and I believe
I'm at
sort of like
sim_sword.
Yep. So I don't know about him, but I do tweet whenever I go live on any various tournaments I cast. I cast for Victorious Gaming, so I do that at least 3 times a week, 4 depending on the hours I get. Also, please just provide any form of feedback for us. This is what we do. This is what we like doing it, and we want to get better to help you guys. So help us help you.
Exactly. And any comment you want to say, whether it's good, bad, ugly, I'm sure that both of us can take it. And again, like Dash Fresh said, it helps us so much. I don't know how much you guys probably know one comment helps us, but one comment just helps us improve rapidly over time. And it's just if you guys have anything to say about us, just feel free. I'm sure none of us will take any harm to it. I believe we're strong casters and able to take almost anything ahead of us. So just don't feel free to leave any sort of comment you'd like towards us.
And remember, let's just not forget about our beautiful sponsors. They are our Dogecoin, SoCane, Dogecoin Ball, Shiba Mint, Cryptiv, and CoinPlay.io. So that will be the end of the stream. I hope you guys have a great evening.